This gift here for Pay Us No Mind. And today, man, we are talking about this Instagram video I saw of Lizzo talking about going direct to fan and just why an artist of her caliber would choose to go direct to fan and just the particulars around record companies and her complaints and the dynamic between streaming these artists and record companies that leads to the decision that she made and why it's going to be a bigger problem down the line, not only for artists like her, but for everybody. And also, just like this big push of everybody kind of shifting away from streaming and Spotify. Those are the topics for today. Now, as always, for those that might have forgotten, as I took the super long hiatus from live streaming, I run my mouth about the topic at hand for the first 15, 20 minutes. Then we get into a live chat if the chat room is popping and people got things that they want to talk about. If you got something you want to talk about, some question or whatever, definitely post it in the comment section so I can see it, or in the live chat so I can see it. Also, make sure you make your presence known so I can shout you out when I get to that part of the show too, man. You know? Now, I have the ultimate guide to, or the artist's ultimate guide, man, where I kind of break down all of the different platforms that artists need to use. And there's a link to that in the description box if you want to check that out, man. You're trying to figure out which digital distributor to use, which marketing company to use, which advertising platform to use. I break it all down in there. So there's a link to that in the description box. Or just sign up for the mailing list too. All right, good people? So let me check and see what's good. Word. And I'm going to try to pull up this clip of Lizzo, man, talking and let y'all see what she had to say. And then I get into some other stuff. So yeah, let me grab this right quick. Screen share. Are you there? So, okay, Lizzo.
Hi, I'm a multiple Grammy, multiple number ones, and multiple platinum plaques, soon to be diamond plaque. If you are upcoming in this industry,
What is
you
this?
should watch.
Hold on, y'all. Because I don't know why I'm hearing this other music, where that's coming from. Hold on. Oh, it's this thing. Let's see what that is. All right. Let's run it back. That was some AI music.
Grammy award-winning artist with multiple number ones and multiple platinum plaques, soon to be diamond plaque. If you are upcoming in this industry, you should watch this video. The music industry is in complete shambles right now, and you can use that to your advantage. Back in the day, the music industry was very algorithmic, as any other industry was, but that industry was controlled to a certain extent. Now that we are in the digital streaming age, there is no control over the algorithm, and it is stressing people the fuck out, myself included. Every major artist besides Beyonce has dropped music this year, or is planning to drop music this year, or has featured on somebody's record this year. I dropped a mixtape over the summer. I had SZA and Doja Cat on it, and I just dropped the deluxe to my mixtape today. And yet there are still people who don't even know I dropped music. Hi, I'm a multiple Grammy award, multiple number one plaques, soon to be. If you are upcoming in this industry, every major artist from Lady Gaga to Drake has dropped albums this year, and yet everyone is saying there's no song of the summer. I'm going to be completely honest with you guys. It's not because the music isn't incredible. It's because the way that the algorithm is set up, no one can serve the masses anymore. This industry used to be based on serving the masses, basically like servicing your song out to certain channels and certain radio stations. The internet space wasn't so congested. There was a clear channel back in the day for major artists to put their music out and serve the masses. Now you have to serve your people. I started a private page just for my fans, Lizzo IRL, and it has been one of the most incredible experiences for me as an artist. It gives me an opportunity to talk to my fans one on one. Every major artist from Lady Gaga to Drake has, and give them the exclusives, share music with them, share my deep thoughts with them. My deep thoughts are not on my main page anymore.
So okay, all right, and I'll just note one thing about this, right? And her pitch, rather. Because Lizzo IRL, right? Lizzo in real life, uh, that is an Instagram account, like a private Instagram account, which I found interesting, right? Like rather than a platform that gives you direct control, like a newsletter or a website, and having people sign up there, she's using Instagram. So it's like effectively she's still subject to the algorithm. Instagram will still filter the feed to allow people to see whatever it is they want them to see. So she doesn't avoid the things that she's talking about in that post. But what it is for her is a gateway because, and I didn't show you guys, but if I showed you, effectively what she's doing is in order to gain access to this private Instagram feed, you have to give her your email address. So it's locked and you have to give up your email address and then you get access to the feed. So she's collecting emails. So she has the direct access. But one of the reasons why she would use Instagram is because people are on Instagram every day, all day. So you can post constantly and keep people engaged. Whereas email, you might send one every week or something like that because it's just a different type of pacing between email and Instagram. So that's something that I peeped and I was like, well, that's interesting. Now, getting into the whole thing where she's talking about why these artists like her and Lady Gaga and Drake have dropped albums and those albums haven't really done much, which is like, that's true because it's like these guys have all dropped albums and I didn't even know those albums were out. I'm completely in the dark. Like nobody's talking about it. And the reason why nobody's talking about these albums is because record companies no longer need hit records. So they don't have to invest in any particular artist or any particular song because they make their money now from streaming. And streaming does not pay you more for more streams. It is a cap, So, like, let's imagine Spotify had $1,000. Whoever gets 50% of the total number of streams gets 50% of $1,000. If they get 100% of the total number of streams, they get 100% of $1,000, no matter how many streams they generate. So if record companies have 50% of the market, no matter how many streams their artists get, they're not going to make any more money. So they don't have any incentive to get a project to get more streams. It's not sales. Sales, you sell more records, you make more money. Streams, you get more streams. All it does is degrade the value of the revenue you earn because then you have, what is it? $1,000 divided by 1 million streams, $1,000 divided by 1 billion streams, then it just gets lower and lower what you make per stream, so the streaming game has changed everything because they no longer need these hit records. They can make their money, they can hit their percentages, right? Their percentage of the market can be hit by having one record get a large number of streams, or by having multiple records get small numbers of streams. And you look at Universal Music Group and their acquisition or their pending acquisition of CD Baby and Downtown Music and all of this other stuff, where they're just buying up more songs effectively to say, okay, well, no matter which song gets streams, we get a percentage of it, so we maintain our control of the market. And they don't need any of the artists that they sign now to do anything amazing. And with streaming, it's baked in. They control it. So it's like streaming is like radio back in the days where you had a radio programmer, and the radio programmer put songs in rotation, and consumers didn't really have all that much power over what they heard. You turn the radio on and whatever you got was whatever you got. And that is the same thing that happens on a lot of these streaming platforms. It's no user control. You tune in and they serve up Discover Weekly, Release Radar, editorial playlists, algorithmic playlists. That is Spotify in its system deciding what users hear. So if they waited and they're saying, okay, well, we're in bed with record companies, let's make sure that all of these playlists have Lizzo's new song on it or Lady Gaga's new song on it. That's taken care of. They don't need to do all sorts of intensive marketing and advertising and all this other stuff. It's just, yo, man, Spotify put it on all of the playlists, put it on the homepage. They get the streams, they get their 50%, and it's over. So now they don't need those artists to set the world on fire in regards of record sales. What they need is for Spotify to get more people to subscribe and pay $10 a month, or raise the price, or do what they're doing now, which is trying to create a super premium tier where you're charging people $20 a month or something like that. And that is where friction lies, because artists are trying to do their own thing, like how Lizzo is trying to create her own platform and say, hey, come here to stream, to engage with me, and I'm going to give you exclusive access to new music and stuff in this space. That is the same thing that they are trying to offer artists on a Spotify super premium tier. Advanced access to music, exclusive access to music. So the artist wants to do it within their own space to get that money directly. The label wants Spotify to do it so they make more money from the streaming platform. That is a conflict. Artists versus the label. The label, because if the label does it on Spotify, them and Spotify make more money by creating a collective, right? You pay $20 a month and you get access to all artist exclusives, right? Not just one artist, all artists. So why would I subscribe and pay money to just get the exclusives from Lizzo or Drake when I can just pay $20 to Spotify and get it from everybody? Right? So it's like those artists are now going to be at odds with their label because you guys are now taking money out of my pocket. So the game is about to get really, really weird, And just from the standpoint of that, you got that aspect of it, right? Where it's like, okay, well, we got the super premium tier, but just going back to the whole thing about why they don't need hit records. It's like, dude, technically, they're beholden to the artists that they have under these contracts now because these artists got superstar status and a lot of influence. But as that influence wanes, as these people's stars start to burn out, they are going to be less connected to effectively satisfying a group of people. Because right now, the only thing blocking them from going full force with AI is the artists that they got signed that are superstars right now would get upset about it, and then they would have a problem. Maybe those artists went out of their contract, signed someplace else, go indie, create competition for them that they don't want. But as those stars burn out, dude, remember, streaming, they control discovery. They can put any record out and get it as many streams as they want. Really, there's zero transparency with streaming, and it is almost like a conspiracy between them and the Spotify to some extent, you could say, arguably, right? Because it's like with record sales, you got a record store. The record store needs to sell records to make money. Record companies produce records to make money. A record company is not going to buy its own records from a record store because then it doesn't make any money. And the record store is not going to buy its own records because then it doesn't make any money. How does it pay rent? So that was the system that was set up long ago. It's hard to rig something like that. You know, a record company could buy its records to try to chart and then hope that by getting on the charts, people go out and buy albums and stuff like that. But if that, you know, that's a risk. That's a great risk, right? That not many record companies want to take on. But in the streaming era, Spotify is beholden to the major record companies because they need the catalogs that they have to drive subscriptions. So they effectively do what the record companies tell them to do, like the monetization threshold and all of these different rules that they implement because they need them. So you don't have a situation where, hey, we're buying from ourselves and we're not going to make any money. No. People pay $10 a month. That money's made. That money gets paid to the record companies as long as they maintain a certain percentage of streams. Spotify can go behind a computer, press a button, and give them as many streams as they want to give them. What authority is there that oversees Spotify to say these streams are fraudulent? There's no authority. It's just Spotify. We see the streams, and as long as it's plausible, like if it's a name we know, you know, we see them on playlists, we see them on a homepage, a blog or two, we believe it. Like, oh, okay, well, they said this guy got 1 billion streams. I guess it's true. But nobody knows. There's no authority. There's no oversight for something like that. So, yeah, man, I mean, the game is weird. Record companies no longer need any individual artist to do any type of spectacular numbers. They don't need any individual song to do any type of spectacular numbers because they can get their numbers through the collective, through all of the songs on their all of the songs from all of the artists on their roster. And you see things like that playing out even with like a lot of the indie labels that are popping up, where these indie labels are effectively just taking a virtual artist and creating AI music and just pumping it out with no real artists at all. Keep 100% of the revenue, because right now, what a label is today, an indie label is today, is you got an Instagram account where you share music and you have an audience that are tuned in to whatever music you share. You could have an indie label. You got a playlist that people tune into and listen and use to check out new music and stuff. You got an indie label. If you have both of those things, you have a great indie label because you now control discovery. If you got 1 million followers, 2 million followers, now you could get any record out there that you want. So it's like, well, why work with an artist that's going to have complaints and, you know, want a share of the revenue and publishing and all this other stuff if you have that pipeline and you can just go to AI, have it generate whatever, put it through your pipeline, generate streams, make thousands of dollars. And that's what they're doing. And that's what record companies, I believe, got their eye on, and they want to do it too. And they will as those stars burn out as time go on, man. But yeah, let me check and see what's happening in this space, yo. Yeah, man. Yeah, yo. So you got that. And then somebody sent me this, right? This other thing here, this guy talking about how he's selling his album, right? And y'all might have seen this floating around too.
Give it right to you. All you do is take this card, plug it in your phone, and my 21 song album is right there in your files app. You own the music. So you can save it to your phone and listen whenever, wherever, even if you don't have Wi-Fi. Plus, you get the highest quality file.
Yeah.
Okay, so I am not releasing my album on Spotify or any other major streaming service at that. Some may argue this might seem a bit insane, but this is the most exciting thing I've ever done in my music career. And honestly, man, my fans last night at my album release party made me feel even more confident about this decision. This is my album. This is the only way you can listen to it. And I'm not putting on streaming services. You take this card, you plug it in your phone, and the music will be right there in your files app. iPhone, Android, Mac, PC, any device that takes USB or USB-C, plug it in and listen. Plus, when you buy my album, you actually own it forever. You can listen to it without Wi-Fi, on a plane, on a train, and transfer the music to whatever device you prefer to listen to it on. You can even send the files to your friends. And now I'm not encouraging that because I'm trying to make a little bit of money here, but I can't stop you. And that's okay because you own the music. If you believe in this vision and want to support me in taking the biggest risk in my career. Okay, so I am not releasing my album on Spotify or any other major streaming service at that. You can go to my website at quayblackstarboy.com and purchase my album. Then the card will be shipped to you within a 2-week time frame, depending on your location in the world. This album has 21 songs of 100% original music, no features, just me performing at my best ability. This album is all about feeling. It's heavy hitting. It's spiritual because the journey to get here was nothing short of that. This album is amazing. You can go to my website at quayblackstarboy.com and purchase my album. Then the card will be shipped to you within a 2-week time frame, depending on your location.
All right. So last week I talked about a platform called Kit, the Kit Player, which was like small little keychain ornaments with that operate kind of like a key, effectively, that works similar to these cards, where you plug it into your phone and it unlocks music on an app, though, right? So there's an app, and the app has the music on it, but the music is locked, and then you put your key in, and then it unlocks it within the app. And inside of the app, it has all of that stuff with like inserts and insert trays, or inside the keychain ornament is that, right? Like it got items inside of it, photos, a fold out tray, all of this other stuff. And then on the app, they have music and videos and all sorts of other content within the app. This is seemingly, because he doesn't explain it much, right? Like, and this is the thing that's interesting to me about everything that everybody kind of does when they turn away from Spotify. It's less about whether people want what they're selling and more about being anti-Spotify. And I don't know if that is an effective recipe, because at the end of the day, it can't be duplicated. So one person comes out and they say, hey, you know what? I'm selling this and I'm not putting it on Spotify. And that's somewhat of a gimmick. That the next person comes, that's not going to work, right? For the next person to be like, hey, I'm selling this and I'm not putting my album on Spotify. It's like, that's only going to work once, where people be like, word, that's right, F Spotify. And they go and they buy it to support him because they are mad at Spotify and they think that that system don't work. And, you know, I want to support a new system. But the next artist that does it and the next artist after that, like, I don't know if that really works like that, you know? So it's like, he's not really selling the product. Like, I don't know what happens when I plug this into my phone, You know, is it an app? Is it just a USB drive? That's what it seemingly is. It seems like it's just a USB drive where you plug it into your phone and then, you know, you could go into your files and you have these songs. Maybe it's more than that. I don't know. He doesn't explain it, right? So he's not really selling it. It's just, hey, you know, I'm not putting it on Spotify. I put a lot into this project. Buy it to support, right? And he's gonna do well. Don't get it wrong, he's gonna do well, right? Because that has now gone viral and a lot of people are sharing it. So to some extent, it's kind of like Nipsey Hussle when he did the $100 mixtape or whatever have you, and you had Jay-Z buy a whole bunch of them because it was like, okay, I want to support what this guy is doing, this symbolism, and what this represents. But at the same time, how many other artists have you seen come out with $100 mixtapes and have it do well? You know, like I've seen artists try and they went nowhere, right? So it's like this whole thing, even with the kit player, everything with these physical items, it has to become a matter of consumer demand. And this is the same thing that I see with all of the new streaming platforms that are popping up. Everything is focused more on the artists because the artists are the mouthpiece. You know, the artists can get out there and they can say, hey guys, support me here. Hey, this is what I'm doing. But at the same time, the artists a lot of times are negligent to what fans want. Like they don't even care. You know, they're thinking in terms of how can I make more money? So it's like you're an artist and you're like, I don't make enough from Spotify. I want to make more money. And that is the driving factor, how to earn more. Okay, if you buy a CD from me, if you buy vinyl from me, if you buy one of these cards from me, if you buy a kit player from me, I'll make more money. But it's like, okay, well, what is that like on a consumer end? As a music consumer yourself, would you buy one? Do you see the point of it? Would it make your life easier or more difficult? Because that is where the rubber meets the road. At the end of the day, consumers want convenience. If something is complicated to engage with, then they reject it. So something like these cards where, yeah, you got access to your music online, but same thing like I was saying with the kit player, where you're gonna have a whole bunch of these things in a book bag or something, and when you want to switch songs, you know, you gotta take this out and plug another one in. Like, can you swap and create playlists and stuff like that? Like, that's the main issue with these platforms. Like, people like to plug in play music, you know? And I said this last week where I talked about how music is like potato chips. You know, people don't just eat one. People stream music in sessions. You working out, you taking a walk, you listening to all of your favorite songs in one session. You know, people used to burn CDs, people used to make mixtapes, people used to do all this other stuff because you have all of these songs that you like from different artists, different albums, and you want to put them all in one place for you to listen to when you're doing whatever it is you're doing. And this does not allow you to do that, right? So it's like the next big thing is going to be something that really considers what fans want and what would create a better consuming experience for the fan. And I don't know if there's anything that can beat streaming from a consumer convenience and experience standpoint until we get to the point where artists start making like almost like movies, which you see too, right? Like I showed you guys something. Hold on. Tiana Taylor. Let me see if I can pull it up. Bear with me as I see if I could pull this thing up, man. Because Tiana Taylor, right? She released something on Amazon Prime Video. You know, not Vivo, not YouTube, but Amazon Prime Video. Let me see. Tiana Taylor. Yeah, here it is. Yeah. So you got this project that she put out, right? Escape Room. It's a visual album. It's effectively a collection of music videos strung together into one project, released on Amazon Prime, which is a video streaming platform. And what's interesting is not just because this is video, but I've seen a audio book on Amazon Prime Video with, like, you know how people do these visualizations on YouTube where it's just like motion art, like a still image of somebody's face, but the eyes blink or something to that effect. Like, people are doing that for books on Amazon, where it's like clouds moving and just like maybe a second image when they get to the second chapter and stuff like that. And you can listen and, I guess, watch motion art as you, or listen to a book and watch motion art. And the same way they're doing that, you could do that with music, either music videos or motion art. And at the same time, you have the ability to get music videos on here by not going through a third party, like a digital distributor or something. You can put music directly on Amazon Prime by going through what's called, I believe it's Amazon Video Direct. So it's Amazon Video Direct. You go there, you log in with your Amazon account if you have one, and you just submit your videos and you get it on Amazon Prime and you earn ad revenue when people watch the video. Let me stop this because I don't want to get flagged. Right? But you see this? It's a music video, right? It's a music video, and that's all it is. It's a series of music videos. It's not a movie because it's not like a story, a cohesive story. It's the album. So, yeah, man, I mean, artists are doing different things. And that is what I see as more of the future than any of these new devices. Like, it's cool to talk about and say, hey, here's something new that people are doing, but I don't really see those things taking off beyond just like you having like fanatics, like super fans that'll just buy anything you do. Then it's like, okay, or you make a plea, and that's the other end of it for me. All of the pleas, even with Lizzo and her Lizzo, what she called it? IRL and real life Instagram account. It's like everybody that's trying to sell something direct to fan, they're not just saying, hey, here, I got this new thing. It's amazing. Come buy it. The indie artists are saying, oh, Spotify, screw them. They're not treating us right. If you guys really want to support me, do this. You know what I'm saying? And then it's like, okay, I'm not buying this because I want it. I'm buying this because this is how you're saying you want to be supported, which is like, I don't know how much weight that's going to hold, right? And the same thing with the established artists where they got to come out and they got to say, hey, nobody knows what's going on. The record companies are confused. They're not putting anything into us. Here's why you got to do this stuff for me, right? It's more self-serving. You guys do this for me. Not to say, hey, you're going to get anything out of it. It's for me. I need to make more money. I need to have direct access to you guys so I can get what I can get out of it. But it's like, as a consumer, you're like, well, what does this do for me? You know what I'm saying? Like, how does this help me? And I don't know if they have any answers for that, man. I don't know if they have any answers for that. But yeah, man, I mean, I don't know what y'all thoughts are on this stuff, if you have any thoughts on it at all, But if you do, share them in the comments or in the chat. Say what's up in the chat if you want me to shout you out. If not, I'm about to do a countdown and then I'm going to get on up out of here. I will shout out Harlem Legend TV. What up, my man? Good to see you in the building, bro. But yeah, man, as always, you guys can hit me up at Pay Us No Mind on Instagram, at Pay Us No Mind on Twitter, payusnomind@gmail.com. Make sure you like, share, comment. Y'all know the drill. This is Gift signing off. Pay Us No Mind. Peace, good people. One.